JEM is my name, no one else is the same. JEM is my name. JEM.
Oh, I have a feeling this episode is gonna be one of my favorites of the series. It's not fair because I'm already a fan of rock operas. And this is amazing. However, it is with that love that I offer a few critiques of the episode. So, for those who haven't seen it, of course, this episode, Beauty and the Rock Promoter, is about some goofball with a unique fashion sense. Seriously. Button shirt with suspenders and a trench coat and boxer shorts and boots. That's a brave look. It's not working for you at all, but it's brave. I respect that. So we've got a goofball in London who owes money to some less than savory sorts. And while he's getting literally shaken down, he has he sees JEM and the Holograms on the television and a poster for Beauty and the Beast, and he thinks, a rock opera of Beauty and the Beast starring JEM and the Holograms. And I said, yes, please. So he writes to JEM and the Holograms, and he's not making this up. This is not a scam. He is absolutely 100% putting on a Beauty and the Beast rock opera starring JEM and the Holograms. And so he sends a care package to, legitimately, he sends a package to JEM and the Holograms, says, here's what I'd like, here's the script, here's a contract. He's deadly serious about this. He's not, you know, like Jetta's parents trying to scam anyone. He's like, I have a brilliant idea to make money and not get dead by mob. So JEM and the Holograms looking there like, this is pretty damn cool. Alright, let's go. And the girls are like, yay, London! Woo!
London, here we come!
You were just there a few episodes ago! And then you were there well, not London, but England somewhere a few episodes before that. The Brit Rock episode and the Renaissance Woman episode. But they've got great burgers in London, so who wouldn't be excited to go? So, JEM and the Holograms, they head on over, and they meet with Red, whatever his name is, Red Mac or something. And he's like, hello everyone, hello, okay, here's our set designer, and here's our costume designer, and the costume designer says, here is my concept for the Beast. It's going to have all of these effects with electricity crackling across his skin. It's going to be so awesome. And the set designer's like, that is awesome. We could have like a giant castle set with this crazy electrical turbine in the center. And like, oh man, that's awesome. I'm like, you didn't have this planned out before? Okay, rehearsal tomorrow, everybody. 5 a.m. sharp. Whee! And they get there and they had built the costume and the set overnight. Wow! Never underestimate the power of techies. Oh, wow! That was quick. I think Disney ripped off this episode when they did Beauty and the Beast a couple years later, because the design and even some of the dialogue is fairly similar. There's one bit where the Beast says something along the lines of, in the Disney version, it's, you will join me for dinner. That's not a request. And a very similar line is in this one.
Sit, have a chair, and dine with me.
I'm not hungry.
It was not an invitation. You are mine.
Disney, were you a fan of JEM and the Holograms? There's no shame. There's no shame at all. So, most of the episode is basically the rock opera. Have you ever seen Noises Off? It's a play about a bunch of people putting on a play, and you experience the play front to back as the performers rehearse it. That's essentially what we see here. We get to see the play, not in its entirety, but snippets in order as they rehearse and then as they finally go on. And oh my God, I want to see this thing. I so want to see this. And we actually, all 3 songs from this episode are new and are songs from this Beauty and the Beast rock opera, and oh my God, they're so good. The first 2 especially really evoke that rock opera feeling.
You'll never win my love unless you change your routine. If you abuse me, you'll only lose me. You'll never make me care.
And after the first song, it's like, oh man, please let the Beast sing. Please let the Beast sing. And the Beast sings in the second song, a duet with Jem, and it's so good!
Let me go, set me free, and let me fly.
If you go, don't you know that I will die?
Oh my God, I love it. It's great. But here's where my critiques come in. The main conflict of the episode is, one, the holograms are being overworked with rehearsals that start very early in the morning and go all day, and the turnaround time of this sucker is like really quick. I guess when techies are that good, they expect the rest of the production to be just, look, we got 4 days of rehearsal and then we're live. What? We built the costume and the whole set overnight. You can't get an entire rest up. What's wrong with you people? So Jem and the rest of the holograms are starting to get super exhausted from both rehearsing and promoting the show with photo shoots and such. And also Jem is kind of losing herself to the romance and fantasy of the fictional world in which her character is inhabiting. She, every time a scene ends, she's like, the Beast! Where's the Beast? It's like, it's an actor in a costume, Jem. What the biscuits? What the biscuits? And, of course, that's really annoying Rio. So, Jem works until she drops. And the doctor says, it's just exhaustion. She should be fine in a few weeks. But so they get the Misfits, who followed them to London and started futzing around with the stage controls until Rio and other security guards threw them out. But they're still there. And so they say, hey, you want to take over Jem the Holograms' roles because they're exhausted. So they do. Jem sleeps for 4 days straight, wakes up on opening night, and the Misfits are in the show, and they're terrible because they don't care. They didn't learn their lines, they're not even trying, it's just a joke to them. Pizzazz reads the script on stage. So Jem says, well, you know, I've been sleeping for 4 days straight, and so they physically haul the Misfits out the back. The less than savory mobster types haul Pizzazz out back. She might be dead. Well, she didn't cower. She will stare death right in the face. Possibly because she has no self-awareness, but, you know, you can't say that woman doesn't have balls. Look at that face. She's like, you've got 2 goons behind you. You outweigh me by about 150 pounds at least, but I will stare you down. But they drag her out back. I hope she's not dead. So anyway, the audience hated the Misfits so much that they genuinely do not mind when the cast switches in the middle of the performance. They finish. And Jem learns that, oh my gosh, the Beast was actually played by Red Mac, or whatever his name is, who, I don't know why that was a mystery. I don't get it. The whole bit where Jem is like, oh, where's the Beast? I must find the Beast. And it's actually the promoter dude who is playing the Beast, which it's his concept, it's his show, he wrote it, he can play the Beast. I don't know why that was a secret. And even though JEM does a pretty nice job of explaining that she was caught up in the romance and the fantasy of the whole thing, but, once she gets off stage, it's fine. Except that wasn't really the case, because she was still thinking about the Beast, like, on the way home and up in the elevator and in her room, and she was dreaming about him. So maybe she means not necessarily once the curtain draws and the light goes down. She means once the curtain draws and the light goes down at the very end of the show. But still, I think this episode would have been just fine with the exhaustion part, and I think the show, this particular episode, could have done a better job showing how hard the actors are working on the show and how long, show a clock and show the spinny thing, because the show doesn't really, this episode I don't feel communicates as well as it could the long, strenuous hours the Holograms are putting into this production, because the exhaustion thing just kind of comes out of nowhere. So, I have some light critiques. I think that the whole, where's the Beast bit? I don't think that worked. I don't think it was really necessary to hide who the Beast was, because it's really easy to figure out. Who else could it be? I think it would have been fine without those elements. Nix those elements, pay a bit more attention to the exhaustion bit, and, yeah. Now, I demand that the creative team from JEM and the Holograms reunite 30 years later and produce the full JEM and the Holograms Beauty and the Beast rock opera. I would like that very much.
Refreshed. Well, look who's up and around. Boy, I really needed a good night's sleep. What's going on here?
JEM, you've been out cold for 4 days.